photograph. Tell all the engines to meet me at Tidmouth Sheds.
Thomas was about to set off. Then he saw Diesel. Thomas knew he should tell Diesel about the new photograph, but Thomas was worried.
What if Diesel spoils this one too?
Thought Thomas. So Thomas didn't tell Diesel. Soon all the engines except Diesel were back at Tidmouth. Gordon was cross.
Mr. Giggles, the famous clown is coming to the party tonight. I must collect him from the airport. I must not be late.
And I had to pick up the brass band from Brendam Docks.
And I have to collect the bunting and decorations from Wellsworth.
Okay, I'll fetch the photographer right away.
Thomas was steaming to Manor. Then he saw Diesel. Diesel was moving straight to Tidmouth. Thomas was worried. Now Diesel would find out about the new photograph. So Thomas turned onto a branch line and raced back to Tidmouth.
There's been a mistake. You'll have to come back later.
The engines were very cross. Soon they had all gone, and Diesel trundled straight by. Later, Thomas had gathered the engines again. Then Thomas went to Maron to collect the photographer. Just as the photographer was climbing on board, Thomas saw Diesel. Now Diesel would see the photographer, and he would find out about the new photograph. So Thomas wheezed lots of steam. It billowed from his boiler and filled the whole station. So Diesel didn't see the photographer, and trundled straight on.
The steam has made my camera wet. I'm sorry, sir. We'll have to wait for it to dry. Tell the engines to come back later to Tidmouth.
So all the engines came back later, instead of doing their jobs. At last the photographer was ready. No one had noticed Diesel wasn't there. Thomas was very relieved. But just then, Diesel oiled round the bend. Diesel was surprised to see all the engines. He screeched to a halt. Rolls of bunting went everywhere.
No one told me there was another photograph.
But I asked Thomas to tell everyone.
All the engines looked at Thomas. Thomas felt terrible. The Fat Controller was very cross.
Conan, you were meant to pick up Mr. Giggles, the famous clown. Emily, you were meant to pick up the brass band. And James, you were meant to pick up the band and decorations. None of you arrived. So Diesel had to do all your jobs. And now he's late to do his own work.
Thomas was very upset.
It's all my fault, sir. I didn't want Diesel to know about the new photograph. In the last one, he moved right in front of me, on purpose.
I did not. The photographer told me to move.
I did. Perhaps you rolled too far.
Thomas knew then he made a mistake.
I'm sorry, Diesel. I was wrong to think you did it on purpose. And I'm very sorry for causing all this trouble, sir.
Soon, all the engines were lined up. A new photograph was taken.
Sir, if I do all Diesel's jobs, can he collect the new billboard?
That's a wonderful idea, Thomas.
Diesel agreed.